Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 22 minutes past 9 on Friday night, the night before the Grand National in 2024. The Aintree Grand National is always a big occasion, and frequent people into betting shops will see people tomorrow that they won't see for another 12 months or haven't seen in a betting shop for the last 12 months. Always like to have a bet on the Grand National. They always have, pick 3 or 4. And remember years ago, when you come out from Mass as a youngster, you'd hear the elderly people most of the year that ask, were you watching Galia last night or were you watching the Late Late? But on the morning after the Grand National, the first question was, had you the winner? That was always the question, had you the winner? And anyone that had the winner, if they only had 5 bob on it or 10 bob or 10 pence, he had the winner. That's the way the conversation would go then. It didn't matter about what you won. It was actually just having the winner of the Grand National. Shout out to a few newcomers on the bus. Gary Miller, the bookies foe. They're 2 separate people. For fear Gary Miller might think I was hinting at him. Joey One Jeans. I hope he has more than one if he's going on holidays. Free Connacht. Could you free Connacht from rain? That's my request. Then we have a man from Sweden, Ortens Verkliget. Kieran McManus. Oh yeah, he asked me if I did I need anything from Sweden. I said a new Volvo. Kieran McManus is a newcomer. Also Stephen Rooney, Mark Giblin, and Hassan Iran. You're all very welcome. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Some people think to subscribe you have to pay. You don't have to pay. The channel is free tips, and we try and donate as much money as we can from the few pound we get to charities. So it goes to worthwhile causes all the time. We'll just have a quick look at today. The first race, I know the way you're thinking, had the best form, had won in Cheltenham, and had also finished 3rd in the Faheen Chase in Limerick over 2-5 when Ilete Tomp was 2nd and Gaelic Warrior won it. Just shows you the form. That form stacks up every year. We were on a Rocco, ran a very good race, 9 pound inferior, beaten by 4 lengths, only a 6-year-old. There's races in him yet, so we'll see him. Would he ever be a Galway plate horse, maybe for them connections? I don't know when it's in JP's colours. It was a great race. Heartwood traded evens or maybe shorter in running, coming to 2 out, but didn't seem to stay. Maybe 2-6, moving it back will help that. But on to the next one. Katira, well plot jobbing in from the Skeltons. They're proven to be the king of the handicaps, the way they can get a horse ready. We finished in 8th place and they were paying 6. We were way too far back anyway, at the very back. Even if it did settle itself, I don't know where he'd have got up on the rail to get into position. But Katira, a good enough winner there. That opened, I think, at 10s or 12s yesterday evening. Definitely 10s anyway. Mystical Power, that was 2nd in the Supreme to Slade Steel and Firefox farther back. We were on Firefox in the Supreme. I went on Mr. Gift today, but he's not as good or wasn't as unlucky as I thought. It was a very good race, great race between the two of them. Well battled out by Mystical Power. So that was 2 up for JP in the 2 grade 3s, grade 1s. Going on to John Bon. Great race this altogether. Conflated gave us all as usual. Protectorate in Vial, an easy game. But John Bon was good. The step up and trip, that's the first time he has ran, as I was saying last night, beyond 2 mile, and the extra half a mile suited. And he was gutsy. He could have caved in, but he didn't. He wanted to win. So good day for JP there. The Topham Trophy were on a horse that didn't want to know. It was like a Gaston that we're going out playing football and said, it's my ball, I'm going home. That's exactly what he did. He went home. Didn't do anything for us at all. Looked like James de Burley was all over the winner until the last 100 yards. He was 1-10, I think, in running, someone told me. Someone put up a post there that had a friend with a leg in Celeb Dallin. So good that he got into the money at a good price there, 28-1. The Sefton Novices Hurl. We were on Dancing City the last day. Changed, same ownership, changed stables, and Dancing City, they came walking home. But good old stayer that'll make a grand old, it'll be suitable for the Ivers or the Midlands Grand National, something like that in time. And the last race of the day was a 40-1 winner, given a great ride from that young Ben Smith. And it was the first time, actually, I was looking that he ever rode outside of riding for his dad. The last 12 months he's had 18 rides, 5 wins and 3 places. That's some strike rate. But if you look at the trainer, Michael Smith, he had that was the first ride for Andrew Hamilton. But great for him. I don't know what age he is, I must check that out. So Godante was in hard luck there. He left a lot of lengths behind him at the start and still finished 5th. Ted Hastings, the went too fast for him. And what else were we on? Had we another horse there? No, Ted Hastings. We had Skycutter. No good. On to tomorrow. Just to say to newcomers, I normally only pick a couple of horses in the day, but at the big meetings I go through the 7 or 8 or 6, whatever amount of races there, and I give my opinion, and whether you agree with it or not, it's up to yourself. In the 120, the big gamble is Skeltons again. This won the race last year, and it's sort of like Langer Dan campaigned for this again. It's £7 higher this year, and likes heavy ground. It has all the signs of running well and getting the job done. But we were on Black Bamboo in Cheltenham, and it wasn't far enough. Ran in the Coral Cup over 2.5, but on the previous run in Leopardstown over 3 mile, it was an eye catcher behind Maxim. And even in Cheltenham, we'll take a quick look at it here. That's him here with the star on the cap.
4 from the left, built by Ballymore, takes it with the leaders, Sa Majesté Nera, Johnny the Great's in behind the leading group, Shambali Kid is next, Bally Adam is still making progress towards the back of the field, Guard Your Dreams is on the extreme left.
It was generally, that was over 2.5, with 2 or 3 mile tomorrow, 3 mile and a half a furlong. It's an each way play there, it's a 10-1 shot. They're paying 6, a couple of them, and some of them are paying 5. Also, I wouldn't put off anyone from back in West Balboa because they're on fire actually. But without the favourite, Black Bamboo is 8-1 with 365 there. That'd be an each way play, and then if you finish second, you'd have an 8-1 winner. Caldwell Potter has been withdrawn in the last hour. We were on Brighterdaysahead in Cheltenham, let us down for a treble and a nice few quid. Getting the £7 tomorrow. Jack Kennedy will make better use of her, I would imagine, than the last day. The form has been franked with the horse in fourth. What do you call it? De Gruge winning since. It's interesting the last year that Il Antique that had went out in front every time stayed at the back the last year. I'd say that could front run tomorrow. Jimmy DeSoyle was second to Ballyburn. But I'm on Brighter Days Ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick Mullins went out in front tomorrow on the second string. 2:30. The William Hill Handicap Chase. Where are we here? Crabbelly is the favourite, but to second in Handicap Chase. Which was that? Was it the place? Was it? Had to get mithered to shake him up, Harry. Yeah, the place. I thought a stronger race was at this distance was the race that Twig was second to, was Ultima, and Gento Classico ran well today, but this horse had been minded for this race, hadn't ran from the 2nd of December when it was way behind That's All Right Gino, but prior to that it was second to Michael Clan. Now I don't know the reason for it, but it ran. That's it here in front in second. Like if you consider Meeting of the Waters had won the Paddy Power in Ireland, I know he'd went up was it 10 or 11 pound for it. So that was a good run from Twig. If it hasn't knocked the stuffing out of him, they're paying 4 places there, and each way bet on that. We're going to the 305. This is the grade 1, the 3 mile. The Stairs Hurdle. And why they don't call it that, they call it the JRL group. Floating Porter is the favourite. Floating Porter won a couple of times for us in its time. We were on it when it won in Cheltenham. Ran well enough the last day. It was second in Cheltenham to Tiupu. Decent, that's a decent form. It was third last year in this to Sire de Burley. It was second the year before to Sire de Burley. It seems like, and it's, I don't know, it's not getting the easy lead out front that it used to, or is it just that it's getting on like us all? But I thought Strong Leader hasn't been seen since the Cleve Hurl. And that was the first time he had ran beyond 2.5 mile. It had been behind Bob Ollinger, well bet, but it jumped very bad in the Cleve Hurl, and it has to improve for it. That's actually him here at the very back, and they're come effort first time at the trip, and it goes well at the track. It was second last year in the pocket in the grade 1, and prior to that it won a novice hurl in 2 trips to Aintree it has been first and second. I bet that Echelon that turned out to be a decent enough horse. Down the field 12 lengths in the Supreme to Marine Nationale, good run there, but it seems to be staying is its job. So I'd give that a chance tomorrow. It hasn't ran since January, so they're probably just aimed for this, and they're paying 4 places there. It's a 7-1 shot. We come to the Grand National. Always the feature of the year for an awful lot of people. And as Peter O'Sullivan, when you say, "Come around the Melling Road," if your horse was mentioned at all, it had a right chance. I gave you Panda Boy a couple of months back, which was 40-1. It's into 10-1 now. It was 14s actually yesterday and the day before, but somebody told me this evening a few was tipped it up. And that's why probably it has shortened in price. I Am Maximus is gone favourite now. Paul Townend chose that, but it's an iffy jumper, but it won the Irish Grand National last year, and won the Bobby Joe. Carrick Rambler won the race last year. I don't know. I didn't like the way it finished up the hill in Cheltenham for one that stays so well. I just thought it's just like as if there was something amiss. I don't know. I just said, "Jez, I don't know about that." But anyone that backed it last year will be backing it, of course, this year. Vanilla was second in the race last year. I actually backed that when it won in Cheltenham a few years ago, but the ground was good to soft that day. That's the reason I backed it. I backed it at, I think it was 22s. I won at 10s, wasn't it? Came second last year. It slowly gets into the races, so it can't get too far back to make a presence in the race. So Panda Boy is the tip. Paying 6 places. I see Ladbrokes paying 5 there. That can't be right. But a horse that I went for another 8-year-old as well to get round, maybe to be in the first 6. Mr. Incredible. Looks like it has been geared for the race. It's an 8-year-old. I just like 38-year-olds. There's a few mares there this year. A mare hasn't won it since 1951. That's 73 years ago. You have Limerick Lace, who done us a turn a couple of times, and in Cheltenham. And you have Galia Liteaux for the Skeltons. But both of them are 7. And the only 7-year-old that has won this would be Noble Yates, since in a long, long time. So 7-year-old and the mares goes, the stats and trends goes against those two. Why did I come on here looking for this? Oh yes, Mr. Incredible. He was going well last year, but the saddle slipped and it unseated. Brian Hayes was on him, and there's only one run since in New Toxeter, over 4 miles to and to a second to Beauport. It actually went up £5 for going so well last year. Is that right? It looks that way. If he ran off 145 last year, and he's 150 now, and he was 150 in England, but he was going well. So it looks like that Willie has geared him on the same jockey. That is a 14-1 shot. And as a third one, there's several bus horses in it. I was looking at Limerick Lace. It's the 7-year-old and the mare that's against it. Mallory Mission, John McConnell hasn't had a winner in ages. But I thought the third one that probably will get around into the first 6 would be Vanilla at 12s. If the ground is, I don't know what sort of the ground is, tacky or what, but Cocoa Beach, he won the Troy-Town. He's 20-1. But he had his chance last year, and he was pulled up. Similar thing applies to Capodanno, an 8-year-old. It was only 7 last year. That could run well tomorrow because it's a classier sort But it had its chance as a 7-year-old, but 7-year-olds don't have a great record in the race. If you look there, the ages 7-year-old was Noble Yates. There wasn't another 7-year-old if we go back there now to 2004. But I hope you enjoyed the race anyway, and it's always a good spectacle. 2 to go. The Novices Chase, on all known forum, found a 50 who was second in the Arkle. Some performance that's the favourite. The Flying Diamond there, it's hard to know what is Arkle de Sile. That hasn't been seen since it won in Galway. I seen it was in Roscommon the day it won as well. It has 5 out of 6 chases won, and it's a right good jumper. But the reason it was left off into the spring was because it didn't like heavy ground or didn't like winter ground. So that won on good yield, but it did win, and it was wet that day in Roscommon. Well, it's always wet in Roscommon, as far as I can see, the last 12 months. But it's interesting that he brought into this race tomorrow, and he did win on heavy ground, and it was yielding to soft that day, or it was Punchestown. He won in Galway and good to yielding. He's a right good jumper. But on the known forum, Nickelback will probably go out in front. That has been spared for this since it won the Scilly Isles in February. It was very impressive that day altogether. It hosed up. It took us time before that to get to know how to do it, but it actually hosed up that day. That's going to go out in front tomorrow, but it'll be similar to Matata in the Arkle. It'll give something to found a 50 to aim at. But that'll be the selection, found a 50 on all known forum. The danger would be Hercules de Sile. If it gets stronger in the market than it is at 6s, there's each way bets, or you could do it without the favourite as well. Three to 1 without the fav. $11 to 8 to be in the top 3. And then on to the finale. As always, it's a difficult race to pick one. Willie has no one sent over, which is strange. And the 28,000 and a bit of change with it for the winner. Mr. Meggett is the hot favourite on the strength of 2 easy wins. But I thought an each way bet, and the thing was Castle Ivers for the same colours for Bective Stud for the Mordens. I was impressed with this, the way it won the last day. And it was similar. If you look at it, it won a pint to pint. It was 2-1, but the time that was third to Tripoli Flyer, that was on the goo, a goo bumper in Lingfield. So I'd throw that out because I didn't like the ground at all. But it was impressive in Weatherby. That's it there in second place.
Sure, so Paddy Brennan steals a peep. And Oak Grove still has the lead, but being tracked by Castle Ivers. Over towards the far side is Caught in Your Trance, he's under pressure. Sawdust trying to get into it, as is Worldwide Fury, he's beginning to stay on the grey. And then in behind is Telemetry, but it's still Oak Grove that leads. But Castle Ivers travelling well in the slipstream in second. Then Caught in Your Trance trying to run on with Sawdust. Worldwide Fury hasn't really picked up in behind. And then comes Telemetry heading towards the final furlong then. It's still Oak Grove in the lead here from Castle Ivers. Caught in Your Trance and Sawdust trying to get on toes. Now it's all changed and Castle Ivers has been shaken up and has quickly gone clear. Castle Ivers has gone 5-6 lengths in front. Will be a double for Ollie Murphy and Sean Bowen. A good performance under the penalty. Castle Ivers will win. Oak Grove was second.
Good turn of foot, that was all over, and when he said go, I was watching the other bumpers there, videos and that's the one I came down on. The market is strong for the favourite. John Joe hasn't had, he's not flying it by any means. And the without market as well. Castle Ivers is 6-1. You could actually still back it without the favourite. And if it's second to the favourite, you have a 6-1 winner. If you get me. Anyway. It's not that, but this. 10-10. Time to get it into the oven. Bash the bookies over and out.